My father was a nice and helpful person. He was the best role model a kid could ask for. I am now 20 and my father isn't here for me to tell him how much of a role model he was to me. My father died June 2007 of cancer. He battled this nasty disease for about a year or more. He had to have his leg amputated but still did everything a person with two working legs would do. That is why he is the greatest influence of my life. My father loved his kids and wife very dearly. As you can see from the photos, he was a very family-oriented person and cared about every one of us very much. He loved hanging with his kids and with family. He also really enjoyed watching us kids in our various activities. We had taken many trips before his death. We went to a Vikings versus Packers game in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We also went to my uncle's resort in Duluth, Minnesota. We had a very good time getting to bond together as a family. The hardest thing that has happened to me was the day they took my father to the hospital for what we wouldn't know would be his last day on this earth with us. The ambulance came that morning to bring him to the hospital, and because he was puking blood, they took him in and admitted him into the hospital. It was a very long day of just waiting. I sat in the waiting room and just watched TV and brought my PlayStation to occupy my time. I wasn't quite sure what was going on, so I decided I was not leaving at all. I had heard all afternoon of family that was coming today to see my father and was kind of curious as to why. I didn't really go into the room at all during the day because I felt like I would be in the way. Well, around 6 o'clock or so, they had my mom, two sisters, and I go into the room to talk to my father for what we would know was the very last time. This shook me up the worst. It was super hard going into the hospital room and seeing him hooked up on numerous machines, and he was kind of there, but not really. He didn't say much at all. All he did was whisper. We knew he had so much to say to all of us and that he had loved us so much. We told him that we loved him so much and he just nodded his head but just was so out of it. We knew he heard us because of his nod. I then walked out of the room just bawling my eyes out more and more. Being a sophomore in high school, it was hard to see my father go. I still remember like it was yesterday. He fought the good fight and I was so happy for him. He could have just let the cancer beat him and give up, but he didn't give up at all. He would work and he worked as hard as he could. I commend my father who never gave up, and that is the reason why he has been an influence to me. He has taught me to never give up and that there is a way to overcome the bad things in life. It is just how you make of it. I believe he has touched every single person he has met and will cherish all his memories. My father has been the greatest influence. Even though he is gone, he will always be remembered for what he has done to make me what I am today.